everyone. This video is going to cover exercise 14.3b, preparing a schedule of cash receipts. So in this exercise, we have Mansfield Imports, and they are selling goods imported from Europe. So using the second quarter sales budget, we are trying to complete the schedule of cash receipts for the quarter. So we've got our sales budget right here. And the company held accounts receivable of $155,000 on April 1st. And we normally collect 100% of our accounts receivable in the month following the month of the sale. So what we've got to do is we have to fill in these blanks. We need to complete this schedule of cash receipts. So the first thing is looking at your current cash sales. Well, in the month of April, we had $100,000 in cash sales, which is coming from this row right there. In May, we had $80,000, and in June, we had $90,000. So now we have to add our collections from accounts receivable. So that statement up here that we highlighted before, we know what we had in our accounts receivable on April 1st, so that would be the month of March's accounts receivable, because we collect 100% the next month. So whatever we collected in May, we're going to, or whatever we sold on an account in March, we are going to collect in April. So that means that my collection from accounts receivable, sorry, I'm going to change these to different colors. So in April, we collect what was on the books at the beginning of the month, which was that $155,000. So our total collections that month would be $255,000. When we look at the month of May, we are collecting our sales on account from April. So that means in May, we are going to collect that $240,000, which again comes from the month of April. So we collect $240,000. We had cash sales of $80,000. That gives us a May total collection of $320,000. Now, finally, in June, we are going to collect what we sold on an account in May. So we're going to have that $284,000 that we will collect in June. Add that to our $90,000, and we should end up with $374,000. So those are what we actually collected in each of those months. It's not what we sold, but it's the cash that we actually collected. So now for part B, we need to determine the amount of accounts receivable the company will report on the pro forma balance sheet. So what that means is at the end of June, what do we have in our accounts receivable? Well, from our schedule of cash receipts, we collected all of March's accounts receivable in April. The $240,000 from April we collected in May. The $284,000 from May we collected in June, which means that the only amount on our accounts receivable left is the month of June's receivables. So our accounts receivable at the end of the period or at the end of the second quarter will simply be June's credit sales or June's sales on account, which would be that $250,000. And that is exercise 14.3b.